What up, people? Here we are on a Sunday once again, man. My boy, Big Darkness. We are on time today. We're kind of excited about that. And our whole subjects today is just going to be talking about Apple Watches and all of these fads out there, Fitbits and all of those things that I don't know. Are they really giving you truthful answers? And or are they just telling you something? So our goal is to kind of just share our experiences from my own personal use, and I'll let Mike share from his own personal use, and then we'll share some facts about it. So let's talk about the hard truth. But before we get there, what's happening out there, Mike?
Man, everything's been good, man. Caught this, we was talking a little early, man. Caught this little sinus bug or whatever it is, man. Like I said, I feel good body wise, but I stay stuffed up and everything. We've been talking about the weather and everything, but
Yeah.
Other than that, man, 65-year-old guy is feeling pretty good. Like you said, man, fitness trackers, man. I can't remember exactly when they started coming out, man, but it's been a while. The technology has grown on them. What do you think? How do you use them, Rob? What's your experience with them?
Well, here's the deal, man. First, let's go back a little bit. Back in the day, fitness trackers was just what we thought. Calories in, calories out. You get on the Stairmaster or you get on the treadmill and you kind of go, okay, it said I burned 500 calories.
Right.
Well, as you just stated, new technology has come out and it's telling us, supposedly it's giving us a quote unquote exact number on where we're at and how we're supposed to go about monitoring ourselves, from our heart rate to our calorie burning to our steps to how many times you blink your eyes. I mean, it's all out there. And I think it's all bullshit. I really do, man. I think it's bullshit. As you know, you get on the treadmill and the treadmill will say you burned 500 calories, say, and your tracker will say you burned 700 calories, and you're still unsure, like, okay,
then your Apple say you burn another.
The Apple will say you
750
had active calories and non-active calories. Right. So it's reading all these different things, and a lot of people out there are just so confused on what item to go buy, whether it's Fitbit, Apple Watch, MyZone, all of these different things.
Right.
But here's the truth about it all, people. It's calories in, calories out, no matter how you look at it. And you and I, Mike, you and I both know, and you guys out there who are listening probably know, is that your heart rate does not tell you how many calories you're burning.
Exactly.
It is out there that everybody thinks that, oh, my heart rate is 160, I must be burning these amount of calories, and this got to be accurate. And my Fitbit watch said that I burned 600 calories. Well, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people out there who are in great shape, whose heart rate never gets up to 160.
Never.
And they're probably the most fittest people out there in the world.
Exactly.
So if you're going to sit here and tell me your heart rate is determined on how many calories you're burning, I will have to say, I don't believe it at all. You and I both know, Mike, it's all about your weight.
Right.
If your weight, far as how much you're carrying and all of that stuff, compared to someone who's fit and in shape. Because when you look at these Fitbits and you look at all of these different things, man, you can have someone my size who weighs the same amount of weight I do, and you have someone who don't have as much muscle as I do, but our weight is the same. And so when we get active, I'm thinking that the person with the lowest heart rate is going to be the one who's going to be putting out the most energy. Meaning that if you are walking, if we're both walking, and I have a better endurance level than you, I mean, my heart rate is balanced and I am in pretty good shape, and you're not, but our weight is the same, you can't tell me because your heart rate went up to 160 and mine stayed at 130 that you're burning more calories than me.
Exactly.
That ain't how it's supposed to be. So I don't know how you feel, but we can just go on that basic generality, and then we can kind of move forward. What do you think?
Right. Let's say hi to Cindy. Thanks
Hi,
for joining,
Cindy.
Cindy. I agree with you on that, man. Like you said, we go back to the olden days. It was none of that stuff, man. And people were in better shape then as a United States, as far as everything population, than they are now.
Yeah.
And why is that? We have more technology. People are saying, hey, I'm tracking my all of this. I'm tracking my heart rate, my calories, intake in, intake out, all that, so I can know how much to eat, I know how much to do all this. But why are we not healthier and look better than we did 20, 30 years ago before all this stuff? Yeah. So, like you said, man, I think when I do use trackers, I use them for my steps. I think they're more accurate counting steps. And you can gauge that because, 10,000 steps is about 3 miles, 3.5 miles. If you walk that much, then you got those steps in. Heart rate is close. I'll use mine just to see where my heart rate is. I'm not using it to say this is how much I'm gonna do or whatever, because I see people using their trackers and they're trying to, like you said, they're trying to get their heart rate up to 160, 100 or whatever. And I'm staying steady, but who's in better shape? I look at people, and I had a person tell me, well, if you're not getting your heart rate up to 160, then you're not burning anything. And I'm like, think about it, man. Some people don't even do cardio like that. They just walk. Yeah. They just do a nice, clean, brisk walk every day, and they burn. And I've done some research too on the trackers, and they said the most accurate is basically counting your steps, maintaining your heart rate, and they said the calorie thing is probably the worst thing. Sure. Because, like you said, I can be on the Stairmaster, I'll burn 700 calories. On my Apple Watch, I'll burn 500 calories, and on my app, it looks like I burned 2,000 calories. Right. So it just goes. The accuracy is crazy, and I don't know about you, but I don't tell my clients to rely on that. Like I said, like you said, we talk about when we put people on a fitness plan or fitness meal plan, that we go by calories, a deficit, and that's what you take in and out. And we can tell by how you work out, what you do, when we set the plan up, that's how we go. That's how I've always done it. I'm still old school, Yeah. Yeah. So, and I this is what I do, man. I tell people, I go, everything that's out there right now is kind of just giving you an example of where you're at. It's not recording exactly where you are. It just doesn't have that capability, because even with people who use, as you just stated, using their Apple Watch and all that for steps, I realize that if I'm sitting in my chair and I'm going like this, guess what my Apple Watch is doing? Mm-hmm. It's saying you're making steps, right? This is all steps. This is all of that stuff is involved, and we're not really doing a step. So what I try to do is that if I'm going to use a step counter, because my calories in is my calories out, basically the way I monitor that, it's just like you and I both have always done it. It's like, okay, if I'm going to eat 2,000 calories a day, I already know that at my body size and muscle build like that, I'm going to burn at least 1,300 just by sitting doing nothing. Exactly. So if I get on a treadmill and I'm walking, I don't even look at the calorie thing. I just look at the amount of time I went. Exactly. And I have an estimated time that normally, and this is where it's going to be. Now, someone will be saying, so how did you come up with that number?
Well, you come up there with that number by number one, you taking with the prime example of being on a treadmill. It's got to record something, and your watch got to record something, but it's not going to be exact. So you have to look at it. I mean, even when we say we walk 10,000 steps, I even read an article when it says that 10,000 steps is actually 5,000 steps. So that's why they tell you to do 20,000 steps so you can get 10,000 steps, because 5,000 of it is going to be, again, the movement of the wrist. Now, my Fit Zone, which is also a heart rate monitor, once again, your heart rate doesn't tell you if you're burning how much calories you burn.
Exactly.
And it gives you an estimate of what you're doing, and reading your pulse, of course, your heart rate, and then it's throwing out a number to you, because it's just very difficult, people out there, to find something that you can say, oh, this is exactly what I'm doing. This is how much I'm burning. The only real way of testing it in general is by the watts that you put out on that machine that you're on. If your watts is real high and you see you're putting in, that's how you determine on calorie burning. But far as your heart rate, it's not going to tell you any of that. Your physical being is going to determine on how many calories you burn in general, and we all know it's all about your weight. You know, if you're heavy, yeah, of course, you're going to be putting out more. It's not that your heart rate is high. You're just going to be putting out more watts to move that body.
Exactly.
Right? So, exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. And that's why I think, and I hate using the word think, but I can monitor everyone, is that when your body comes into a plateau, when you stop losing weight, basically your body has reached its capacity to where it can live. So now, in order for you to monitor this without having something on your wrist, you go, okay, I plateaued out for the last week. I've been doing the same thing. Now what I need to do, I need to increase what I'm doing.
I got to step it up.
Right? And so you step it up a notch, and then you continue to lose calories. So my point is that people use the scale. Just use the fucking scale. If you're eating, you brought out your calories, and say you once again chose 2,000 calories, and you're doing your daily cardio, and say you're doing an hour a day. And if you look at that, after doing it for a week or so, if you hadn't lost a pound, then there's two things that need to happen. You need to cut your calories, or you need to increase your cardio. That's it. And you don't need all the trackers.
Exactly. And that's it. And the thing is, we know, because we've been doing it so long. So we know, we're like, okay. So that's why when people ask me, well, how do you do an hour of cardio a day? I said, because I know 30 minutes for me, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sprinting. Yeah. So I know how my body reacts. I know how I want to look. I know what kind of sweat, some sweat equity I put into it. So that's why I do that. And then sometimes say, well, you're not doing an hour anymore. Well, I know I don't have to do it, because I'm at another I'm at another level. So when we talk about stepping it up, but another thing is, unless you in the LeBron James or high or athlete or somebody at that level, then you're going to get true stuff, because you're going to have the scientific stuff. People, when your body's burning fat and calories. But for your everyday people like us that's using the trackers and everything, it's just like you said, basically it's a gauge for us to go by to help us. It's just like taking vitamins. It's something, it's to enhance because we're missing something, and it's giving us that little thing to say, hey, you know what, this is where you're at. It's a point where you can look at it and say, hey, you know what, I might need to do a little bit better. Know, and that's why when we talk about doing the steps, remember we talked about, some people say I get 10,000 steps a day. No, that's not how it works. You got to get 10,000 steps at one time.
Yeah.
Because I get people all the time, well, I get 10,000 steps a day. Yeah, well, yeah. Just like you said, you can be sitting, I can be sitting at my desk right there. That's not how you're gonna burn anything or burn any calories like that. And do stuff like that. Now I will tell you this though. Trackers did save my life. When I used to work out in SoCal, I had my Apple Watch and I had a Fitbit, and everybody used to laugh. Why you got both of those on? The day when they discovered the blood clots, my heart rate stayed at 160, 165, 170. It wouldn't go down when I was working out.
Yeah.
On both of them.
Yeah.
So that told me something was wrong.
Sure.
You know? So with that being said, yeah, they do have some words. We're not saying they don't have any words. That's what I want to put out there. They do have words. And if I wouldn't have had those on that day, I might have not be here because of that. So I'm not.
Yeah,
saying,
it has its value.
Yeah, I just want to let people know we're not saying trackers are not, throw them away.
Yeah.
We're just saying for some of the things that people want to do and want to get out of them, and what we're looking at, and so we're showing them that. And I know you agree with me on that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, everything has its value. That's why technology is so productive. Everybody's learning a new way to kind of keep us alive in a sense. But what my whole point here was that I just wanted people to understand that your heart rate is not determining how many calories you're burning. It's just not. It tells you how fat you are, or it tells you how out of shape you are, and that's pretty much what it's for. The prime example of your calorie in, calorie outtake, how is it monitoring that? It's not. It's you monitoring that, right? Exactly. So if you're writing that down, then you can easily figure out why you're not losing weight. I mean, it's just kind of elementary. Right. And I tell all of my new clients that I go, you know what? There is this way of tracking whether you're in a plateau period or not. And the way you should do it is for 3 days, weigh yourself at night, weigh yourself in the morning. Weigh yourself at night, weigh yourself, do it for 3 days. And then you have a medium of like going, okay, my flex weight is 3 to 4 pounds. I go to bed at 179, I wake up at 175. And you do that every day. Now you know your flex weight is at 4 pounds. So when you're trying to lose weight now, you kind of go, okay, now I want my morning weight to be a little bit different. So now I need to put in a little bit more effort to see how my flex weight has changed. And then that way you can constantly stay in tune with your calorie in, calorie out by just doing steady state cardio. And people who are out there talking about HIIT, you don't lose more weight because you're doing HIIT training. Oh, I got my heart rate up, It doesn't matter. You're not losing more weight. Remember that, people.
And I'm talking to more people now that understand that. I said, HIIT doesn't build muscle. HIIT is not going to do all the stuff that you think it's doing. It's just, it's just what it is for that one period of time. Now you can incorporate it. I'm not saying it's not good for you. I'm just saying you incorporate it with the rest of the stuff, then it works even more. It's something to enhance. All this stuff enhances what we do with our base. Yeah. So when we give somebody the base, and then if somebody says, oh, I want to do this, I say, that's fine. You can do that, but you're still doing this. Yeah. And it's just endurance training. It's just endurance training. That's all it is. And people, it's actually should stay the term interval training. Because what you're doing, you're going real hard for 30 seconds, you stop, you rest. Then you're going real hard. That's interval training. True HIIT training is where you go balls to the walls for as long as you can, and you're done. You're done. And your rest period is not 30 seconds. It's more like 2 minutes. It's like right? It's like when we were getting tested when we came back for training camp. Remember that?
Yeah. It's like it's constant. It's steady until you can't go anymore. And then you land on the ground for a minute or 2 or 3. Right. But just stay steady state, people. Keep on wearing your trackers and doing all that stuff for having a kind of a ideal positioning where you are, but don't depend on them, because what happened is that your thing is telling you're burning all of these calories and you're actually not burning these many calories. And so you think I can eat more or I can eat less. Don't do that. Just take, if it says 300 calories, believe me, you burn about 150.
Yeah, because that's all I tell you. And that's the thing. Yeah. People say, well, since I burn 1,500 calories, that means I can intake of 15. No,
I can even whatever that number is, split it in half, because it's not the same. It's just like the walking. And it's just like Michael just said, if you ain't doing it straight through until it's done, then the chances you got 5,000 from this at work all day and pointing and talking, and that's all those steps come in. So just, that's just the dirty truth about this whole world of Fitbits and Apple Watches and all of these gadgets that's keeping up with us. Just do the right thing, stay consistent.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Stay consistent, disciplined, and stick to the program. That's all it is, man. There ain't it's no magic to it.
No. And so another thing I'll add to that, just for the listeners out there, that person that you look in the mirror every day, you can truly say that you burn almost 1,500 calories a day. What did you do today? and then you know, like, did I do 45 minutes of cardio twice today?
I was laying my ass on that couch. And when I pulled the cover up, I burned about 600 calories.
So yeah, man, just be aware that you can only lie to yourself because your body is gonna tell you the truth.
Exactly.
And you mentally know exactly what you've done. And so don't lie to yourself. And sure, don't let some gadget that you got tell you that you did something that you can truly say, you know what? Did I really do 10,000 steps today? And I worked all day. I got up in my office. I walked down the hallway. I came back to my office. I never once left the building. Me and my girlfriends, our guy friends was talking, and he was, you know what I mean? So I just got 10 steps right there by doing that, right? So, so just that's our whole topic, people. The fitness trackers, the hard truth is that don't let them fool you, and don't spend so much money on these gadgets. Just spend more money on your foods, spend more money on your training, whether it's with the trainer or with the gym. Just spend your money there, and then you will be happy. Results will happen.
Got to put the work in, people. Got to put it in.
Yeah, got to put it in.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Bottom line. So we coming at you short and quick today because we just wanted to let you know that we've heard so much about fitness trackers that I had to just have to tell you my experience. Mike had to tell you his experience. And I think we both have come to a conclusion on what you've heard us speak on twice now, is that just use them as a guideline. Don't use them as the Bible, because it's not going to change your life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but other than that, man, wherever you guys listening at, be safe, man. The weather here in Texas, I can only speak about Texas. I see all the other stuff going on out there. Ooh-wee. Texas is up and down, baby. It's up and down. I get a chance to wear all of my clothes. Yeah. I don't have to put shit away. and I live.
I've been wearing. I've been in the hoodie pro. You see me. People see me work out. They're like, "Man, you live Cap Point." I've been in hoodies working out. So the weather. I'm in Northern California, so the weather's it's been off and on. Hopefully, man, it's supposed to start getting straight this week. I'm hoping we get into the 70s. And man, hopefully that's how it goes. Hopefully we go into March. The time change, we get more light, we get more sun, maybe we get a better temperature. And then people can move around a lot more, because people, when it gets cold, so people don't want to do nothing. No. But you know what, people, we can't use that for excuses. We can't use the weather as excuses. We still got to keep moving.
Yeah, and with this daylight saving time that's coming, people, some of us been getting off here 6 o'clock and like, oh, it's too dark to go outside and take a little walk. Woo-wee. It's got to be daylight, so we get an extra hour or two to do that. So get those 10,000 steps in before you walk in your house.
Get them in. That's right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right. With that said, man, I don't think we got anything else.
That's it. No. So we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
And if you guys got anything you want us to talk about, just put it in the comments. And once again, as we always do, man, just go ahead and like and subscribe. Always leave a comment, because putting in a comment will kind of raise our algorithm and bring us up a little bit. But you know how it is. We come to you short and sweet, or we come into you long and steady. But the bottom line, we just try to bring something that's everyday life and what's happening out there, and nothing is a secret. and we share what we think. We're not doctors, nor are we lawyers, or are we cops. We just like you out there.
Exactly.
So you don't have to run from us. We can talk about
Exactly.
whatever you want.
That's it.
So, of course, you can find me right here at Robert Johnson Training Studio. You can go to robertjohnsontraining.com and you can find me there. Also, I'm the legend, Robert Johnson, on Instagram. TikTok, I'm 60 Fit Club, and that's kind of how we roll. So, Mike, you can tell them where you at, and we can.
Yeah. On IG, I'm on House of Darkness Fitness. Also, Big Darkness 59 on YouTube and on TikTok. So, hey, that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? We might as well. Hey, tomorrow's Monday. If you haven't started your fitness journey, write something down tonight that you're going to do tomorrow so you can start. And by the time we see us next week, you already have a weekend.
There you go. All right, people. Peace out. See you next time.
Deuces.